Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're actually making a Chinese inspired Italian dish, which is pumpkin gnocchi. Gnocchi is like a small dumpling, and we're going to do it with a brown butter sage sauce. So let's have a look at the ingredients. I've got 2 cups of pumpkin. When you cut it, now pumpkin is actually has a lot of water, so we need to remove as much of the water as possible. 2 cups of pumpkin, and then I'm using about 1 cup of glutinous rice flour. Now we want to make sure we use as little flour as possible, if not it becomes quite gummy. For the brown butter sauce we need butter, salt, pepper, and also sage. If you can get fresh sage is better, but I have dried sage. So first thing is we got to prepare our pumpkin. Now once you cut your pumpkin, you want to dry roast it in the oven for half an hour until it becomes cooked and dry, or you can also use the microwave. Put in the microwave for 2 minutes, smash it, remove the water, put in the microwave again a few minutes until it becomes dry and mashed up. I'll do this and come back, okay? Alright, so I have prepared my pumpkin using the microwave method. So I've put this into the microwave for like probably a total of like 10 minutes to like dry it out as much as possible. So, and we want to try to add as little flour as possible, okay? So first thing is we got to season the pumpkin. I'll just move this together. So just a half a teaspoon of salt, okay? And then we'll add in our glutinous rice flour, okay, bit at a time. We try not to add we try to use as little flour as possible, okay? And we want to make a soft dough with this so we can make into gnocchi pieces. So I'll do this and come back, okay? Okay, so my dough is finally ready. Needed a bit more glutinous rice flour than I anticipated, but I didn't use too much. Now what we're going to do is to divide it into round circles like this, about the size of a marble. I'll say about one centimeter in diameter. I mean the size doesn't have to be perfect. We're just eating at home, okay? So what we're going to do is with this marble, we're going to use a fork and then just indent it like this, okay? So it cooks nicely, and then it also absorbs or you can cling onto the butter, the brown butter sauce. And we'll just leave it aside like this, okay? So I'll just do one more. So a little bit more. The size doesn't have to be perfect, alright? So that's the marble size. Fork, indent it like this, okay? And this actually cooks a lot better, and then you can grab onto the butter sauce. I'll do this and come back. So my gnocchi pasta is done, okay? Now we'll boil a pot of water and salt it and come back. We'll bring a pot of water to the boil and salt it with a tablespoon of salt. Water must be very salty. We're not drinking the water, so it does not matter. Now once the water is boiling, bring it down to a slight roll, and then we'll put our gnocchi in, okay? And this one, once it's cooked, it'll float to the surface. Okay, I'm going to do this and come back. So when the gnocchi starts cooking, it's going to turn a very beautiful golden yellow color. Isn't that beautiful? Now we need to boil this until it floats. That means it's cooked. I'll come back. So it's almost cooked. You can see all the gnocchi pasta are all floating or starting to float. We'll boil this for another minute or so. We'll turn down the flame a little bit and make sure all of it starts floating. Then we can take it out. Okay, we'll come back. So after a minute, you can now see like it's all now floating. Okay, now we don't want to overcook this, so we'll take this thing out and drain the water and put it on a plate. Okay, I'll come back. Okay, so I've just taken out my pasta. Isn't the color beautiful? I'm just going to put a teaspoon of olive oil just to make sure they don't stick. Okay, I'm just going to like mix the olive oil so that they as they cool down, it doesn't stick together. Okay, now I'll come back. So we'll heat our wok and we'll put in, let's say, about 2 tablespoons of butter. Okay, we'll let this fry and foam up and make it brown butter. Okay, I'll come back. So to make brown butter, we'll need to melt all the butter, and we have to cook until all these bubbles stop or disappear and the color starts becoming brown. Okay, we don't want to burn it, but it gets really brown. Then we'll put in our herbs, and then we'll toss in our gnocchi. I'll come back. So right now it's foaming. We're going to cook until the foam stops. So you can see my butter is already like really brown. Okay, so we'll like keep cooking it for a little bit more, and the smell becomes really nutty right now. Okay, we don't want to burn this, so let's turn it off and let's put in our gnocchi. Okay, then we'll toss it around, and then we'll add in our dried sage. Okay, and we'll just toss it around. Wow, that smell is incredible. Okay, I'll just let it mellow down for a minute and I'll come back. Now it's also now you want to just have a taste and then season it properly. Now depending on whether your butter is salted or not, you may need to put more salt. Then just a crack of black pepper. Okay, so that let me just plate this thing up and then we have a look at it. So I've plated it up and I've just added some coriander or parsley on top. So this is our pumpkin gnocchi in brown butter sauce. Okay, it's delicious, very rich, no? So just eat in moderation. Okay, if you got any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below.